Thank you for joining us for today's boys varsity basketball contest featuring the visiting Liverpool Warriors and our home team CNS North Stars. All event attendees, including athletes, coaching staff, and officials, must wear face coverings in accordance with the Secretary of Health's universal face covering order and are expected to maintain social distancing when arriving, attending, and departing our facility. Sportsmanship is a quality demanded by all participating coaches, teams, and officials. Please follow their example and be a positive force for your school and hometown. Let today's contest reflect mutual respect. We welcome our guys from Liverpool, along with everyone watching this game remotely, and wish all the participants good luck in today's game. At this time, if able, please rise, remove your hats. You should place your right hand over your heart for the singing of our national anthem. We're pleased to have a recording of the CNS High School Chorus singing our anthem today. School Chorus. And now for the starting lineups. First for the visiting Liverpool Warriors. Starting at guard of 5'11" junior, number 1, Jadir Race. At guard, freshman number 5, Bruce Wingate. And for 6'3", senior number 20, Nick Toscano. And for 6'5", freshman number 32, Antrell Ash. And a guard of 6'3", junior number 44, Jacob Works. The Warriors are led by head coach Ryan Blackwell, assisted by Sean Muller and Anthony Pascal. North Star fans, please welcome our starting lineup. So a guard of 6'3", senior number 1, Kevin Valesco. And guard of 6'2", senior, number 2, Brian Bowden. And guard of 6'4", junior, number 3, Luke Baraka. And guard of 6'5", senior, number 10, Noah Lysorik. And a guard of 6'3", sophomore, number 44, Reed Concho. Coach Kelmer, this is number Brendan Hicks, Matt Golden, Steve Miner, Chop, Wojcik. Referees in today's game, Jimmy Bragg, Dickie Gaffney, and Board 38 President, Fred Bragg.
Welcome to the North Star Network, presented by CNS Athletics. Giovanni Heater alongside Kyle Marshak with you tonight for a crosstown rivalry matchup. The CNS North Stars playing host to the Liverpool Warriors.
Absolutely a pride matchup tonight, Gio. A battle of attrition, a lot of size in the court tonight, and man, the ability of these players is going to be on display.
These two went down to the wire earlier this year. It was a 3-point win for Liverpool over the North Stars. Both these squads looking for a great way to end off the season tonight. Missed buckets on both ends of the floor. Now Liverpool looking to get the scoring going early. Kick to the top. Velasco's there defensively. Great defense out of the North Stars so far in the early portion. Good ball movement by the Warriors. Corner three up in the air, off the mark, an offensive rebound. Bruce Wingate got his own miss. Now a drive, kick to the top, three-pointer in the air, and stroking the net is Jacob Works, and that is how our ball game will begin today.
Jacob Works, a well-rounded player. We got some notes from Coach Kyle Martin beforehand, and a lot of it says boxing out that kid's going to be a big deal, but clearly he's not afraid to shoot from the top of the key as well.
Zoric gets his shot rejected down low, and now Liverpool up the floor, a chance to extend an early lead. Jake Soccer running the show at the top for the Warriors. Back to Soccer. Now kick to Wingate. Wingate pulling it out. Right side. Drive was Zoric's there defensively. Floater up in the air, no good. Velasco, a tough rebound. Andreo Ash couldn't finish. Paragon, corner three. Off the rim, no good. And a rebound going the other way. Nick Toscano. Wingate comes to get the ball. Slicing his way through the lane, going right at Luke Paragon. A big bucket for Bruce Wingate there.
Wingate, the freshman guard, so much talent for such a young player, not afraid to drive straight to the rim.
Bonin to the tin, lays it up and in. Count the bucket plus the foul. Brian Bonin, a chance for a three-point play at the line.
Bonin with a 40% field goal percentage as a guard. That's extremely impressive, the way he drives to the rim. He takes high percentage shots. High IQ basketball play right there, getting to the rim.
Bonin now with the charity stripe, first trip tonight. And the North Stars continue their dominance from the free throw line. Bonin knocks down the front end. Now here's Jake Soccer, crossover dribble, stepped back. Poking it away is Velasco in transition. Velasco lays it up and in, and we're tied up at 5, Marshak.
Velasco, the 6'3 senior, almost looked like he was going to rise up and slam that one away. Goes for the lay instead.
Now looking for a response on the other end. Nearly dunking it home was Jacob Works. Now Bonin running the floor for CNS. Bonin to Velasco. Pulls up downtown. Off the rim, no good. Conjol tried to be there. Last touch by the Warriors. We will stay down here. Getting a piece of it was Nick Toscano.
No lack of confidence right there from Velasco, pulling up from three. Also a guy with 41% from the field, 47% on the season from three. That's a ridiculous mark to be at.
Absolutely. Conjol missed it. Now on the other end, drawing the contact is Bruce Wingate. He will shoot 2 of his own.
Wingate, the 6'2 freshman, described as having a very quick first step, so that kid can really shoot to the rim.
Wingate's first one up in the air, and it falls home. Now the lead by 1 for Liverpool. 5:11 on the clock in quarter number 1, and up and down the floor. Didn't expect anything less. North Stars basketball and SCAC Metro competition tends to be very physical. Bonin pulls up dead in his tracks. Yes, sir. Brian Bonin, the senior, and his final game in a North Star jersey.
Pull-up shot, a lot of confidence right there, and an absolute dagger to take the lead for the North Stars.
Feed to the inside on the right wing. Andreo Ash dumps it off. Jacob Works going to work. Pulls up. Corner three. Count it. The response bucket out of the Warriors. And back and forth we continue to go.
Works not necessarily a high scorer for Liverpool, but man, he's starting on quite the clip right now.
Zoric wants 3. Oh my! The big man can shoot, Marshak. Timeout on the floor.
Couple of forwards trading shots early on. 10-9 lead for CNS. Blackwell wants to run things over.
Ryan Blackwell, very well-esteemed head coach in his own right, head coach of Boeheim's Army. I mean, he played at Syracuse back in his heyday. The list goes on and on as far as credentials go. But look at Kyle Martin building a resume of his own. What a season it's been for the North Stars to really bounce back from last year.
Absolutely. They're at 8-4 right now. Obviously a statement game, crosstown rivals. The final game for both teams right here. So you can tell, the energy in the gym, despite a smaller crowd because of COVID, everyone's here for high competition.
Liverpool on the other side, 9-2 on the season. They sit at second place in the SCAC Metro Conference Division behind the West Genesee Wildcats. 4.5 minutes to play here, quarter number one. We got ourselves a good one. Andreo Ash dumps it off, Jake Soccer. Oh, it's right side, Nick Toscano. Surveying the field. Gives it off, Wingate. And a steal in the middle, Wazorek. Wazorek in transition. He got his pocket picked, and instead it ends up in the hands of Jacob Soccer. Soccer left side, Wingate. Reese Conjal getting the start tonight for the North Stars. Worth noting, Wingate to the tin. Sending it away is the senior Wazorek. Up the floor, Bone into Paragon. The Euro step, the reverse layup. And oh my goodness, what a move.
Look at the layup package, 2K style, laying that thing around. Left hand finish, Paragon.
Unbelievable. Andreo Ash going at Wazorek. Kicks it out, Soccer. Soccer to Wingate. Wingate inside once again to Ash. Ash to the tin. Laid it up and in. A tough bucket there. And a whistle is blown. I'm not quite sure what for. Nonetheless, the North Stars hold a 12-11 lead by way of one. Velasco stares down the rim. No good. Conjal couldn't be there for the rebound. Out of bounds it flies, and we will head the other way. One of very few empty possessions for the North Stars through the early going.
Absolutely. I think the efficiency is evident, especially with so many guards on this team being over 40% from the field.
Here's Velasco, a steal in transition to the lay-in, and it's good.
I'd like to see the steal category if we kept track of it all season, because Velasco would certainly be one of those leaders. Him and Bonin at the top of the key just fit in this man defense built by Coach Kyle Martin so well.
Inside, Andreo Ash lost control of it. Foul is called along the baseline. And again, Kyle, we go back to last game against FM. We were just shocked by the energy in this gym, present again today.
Here we are, yeah. I was going to say, I mean, the energy behind us is extremely evident. I think it's reflected by the bench energy, the coaches, all the players. Everyone knows it's the final game of the season. They're invested in it. With no playoffs, they're fighting for honor at this point.
This is the section championship right here. This is what it is. This
Certainly
is what
feels
we
like
have.
it.
At least for the North Stars it is. Final game of the year. Rivalry game. Best way to end it off. Kick out Wingate. Dips it off to Andreo Ash, and Velasco again in transition. Oh my!
Uh-oh. That's 6 points. 6 points off of steals right now in transition. Velasco heating things up.
Blackwell wants to talk things over, and how about them North Stars, Marshak? Kevin Velasco has been a dominant force, picking the pocket of the Warriors in transition.
Coach Blackwell definitely going to have to make some changes right now. You see Wingate at the top of the key, of course, the young freshman. He's going to have better court vision, because Velasco a lot quicker, a lot more elusive than you expect for a 6'3" guard. That kid is always there at the top of the key.
Turning defense into offense. Absolutely incredible. As both teams take the floor once again after the quick 30-second timeout. Giovanni Heater alongside Kyle Marshak with you. Thanks so much for tuning in on the North Star Network. It's been a good one already. We had a doubleheader. JV won in overtime earlier today. And now on our Saturday primetime matchup, it's the Warriors and the North Stars going at it. Pull up three-pointer. Oh, count it. A big bucket there for the Warriors. Nick Toscano strokes the net.
Toscano only averaging 5 points per game coming into this, but he's certainly a guy that can make a change for the Warriors.
Velasco over to Bonin. Bonin lost control of it for a second. Good tip away by Jadir Reese. Velasco cross-court pass. Paragon with a hand in his face off the rim. No good. Velasco couldn't pull it away, and instead it's Toscano up the floor for Liverpool. Dead in his tracks. Pulling up for three that time was Jacob Works. No good. Reese Conjal the rebound. Up to Paragon from Velasco. And the transition offense for CNS has been sensational.
Man, they get the ball up quicker on the floor than any other team in Section 3. That was some quick ball movement right there.
North Stars lead it by 4. Three-pointer. Off the mark. No good. Toscano wanted it. Bonin has it instead. Bonin crossover dribble. Spins around. Tries to create a shot. Off to Wazorek. Bonin behind the three-point line. Cross-court pass again to Velasco. And the North Stars will settle things down a little bit here. Paragon going at the tin, dishes it off Bonin. Bonin step back, trying to create separation to Paragon again. Paragon drive, Paragon up. Paragon creating the contact.
And that's Paragon's game right there, a guy who's also high percentage on the inside at 43.26%. I mean, that's just a ridiculous clip. Obviously a kid who can shoot well from 3 too, but that's his game right there, drawing the fouls, getting the smart points.
Absolutely. Paragon at the line, he'll shoot 2. Knocks down the first. This team does not miss from the free throw line, Kyle.
Absolutely. I think we expect it from Coach Kyle Martin, a guy who's 83-56 at SUNY Purchase as a coach, and plenty of assistant coaching experience, Morrisville State, Hamilton College. A guy with so much experience, you have to expect that for him to instill the discipline in his players to be good from the charity stripe.
Paragon automatic from the line per usual. Jadir Reese now with it. Give off to the left side. Jaden Reynolds in the ball game as well for Liverpool. Screen comes. Jacob works with it. Going to the tin, strong and finishing. Jacob works with a big bucket there for the Warriors.
6'3" junior trying to hinder the defensive ability of the North Stars right now. Obviously 3 straight steals for Kevin Velasco. I think it was obviously Coach Blackwell's intent to make an answer in the next offensive possession.
Now the North Stars with 10 seconds. They can hold for the final shot. Paragon, pump fake, steps back out. Now Paragon with 6, off to Wazorek. Bonin with 4, Bonin with 3, Bonin to the tin with 1, and that will conclude our first quarter of action. Marshak, what a game we have here in the CNS High School gym. North Stars lead at 2016 after 8.
It's a high-scoring clip, too. I mean, the North Stars a team that hovers around 65-ish points per game, and they only allow about 53.8. I imagine both those numbers are going to be broken tonight. I mean, the Warriors, obviously crosstown rivals. They're bringing everything they've got. And here at CNS High School, the North Stars defending their home turf in the final game of the season, Joe. I think, or Gio, excuse me. As the, I think the points are going to go back and forth quickly. Obviously, the pace is pushed, and it feels like, by looking at the scoreboard, that we're going into halftime, but we have plenty of minutes to go.
Couldn't agree with you more, and these seniors very evidently playing like it's their final game. Kevin Velasco, Ryan Bonin, Joe Penizzato, Noah Wazorek, Nick DeViro, and William Darko Jr. Those are your seniors on the CNS varsity basketball squad, and just evidently Bonin just playing with an added sense of urgency. Had the opportunity to actually call the JV game with him today. What a blast that was, and he just talked about, he can't believe this is his last game suiting up as a North Star, his final game on the CNS basketball hardwood. It's just unbelievable. The years fly by. I
think it really states just how invested, as a senior, Brian Bonin is in the program. For him to step on to call a JV game with you, a kid who perhaps is invested in the broadcasting idea a little bit, but we know right now he's more focused on basketball, and here he is, performing at the best.
A swing pass to the inside was the contact, but that was a fantastic pass by Brian Bonin. What a feat.
Speak of the devil. Zip that ball to the inside. I recall when I was calling play-by-play for a couple of weeks ago against Beeville, he did the same thing, zipped it to the inside. Wazorek put it away. This kid is certainly a kid who can put some dimes up.
Wazorek drains the first, and they just blow my mind with how consistent they are from the line.
Even the big men.
Even the big men. There it is again. Unbelievable. And the season didn't start like that either, which is even crazier.
You see quick improvement in only a matter of weeks under Coach Kyle Martin.
Jaden Reynolds, feed off to Jacob Works. Liverpool in need of a bucket here. North Stars lead it. Feed to the inside, and tough to the bucket is Jadir Reese. Draws the contact, lots of it, and you'll see that in a rivalry game. These guys might bump bodies a little bit harder than usual today.
Absolutely, Jadir Reese, one of the many guys on the team with a good clip of points, about 8 points per game. You can expect him to be one of those supporting roles, not even off the bench. He's a young sophomore, but despite that, he is starting here for the Liverpool Warriors.
First free throw off the mark for Reese. He'll shoot one more. North Stars lead at 22-16 by way of 6. Could cut it to 5. 7:36 to go. Quarter number 2, and misses both of them. Free throws can definitely come into play down the stretch of the game. Bonin off to Paragon. Cross-court swing pass to Velasco. Now Wazorek. Back to Kevin. Kevin looks for Bonin. Bonin back out to Velasco in the corner. Baseline drive, and it's taken away down low by the Liverpool Warriors. Converging on it, Nick Toscano. And now Liverpool up the floor. Jadir Reese kicks it off. Three-pointers in the air, no good. Offensive board. Reese, right place, right time. Ball fell into his lap. He was there to clean up the mess.
Absolutely, Jadir Reese, a 5'11 guard, about 8 points per game, as I mentioned before. Very quick, he can certainly shoot. He has a well-rounded game for such a young sophomore, a kid to look out for tonight.
Velasco, skip pass, Paragon. Off the mark, no good. Velasco, offensive board, goes up strong, no good again. Bullied inside. Wazorek is there, and third time's the charm for the North Stars. Noah Wazorek, the lay-in, and how about the physicality down low?
Absolutely, Wazorek, another guy whose high percentage on the court. As a matter of fact, the highest at 56.82% on the inside.
Jaden Reynolds, the response for Liverpool, and we have ourselves a 4-point ball game.
Back and forth, back and forth. Such a high-paced game.
Here's Bonin. Thought about a three, off to Paragon. Paragon strong to the rim, rejected down low. How about the play by Andreo Ash, Marshak?
Man, that's a statement block right there, rising up with one of the bounciest people on the court in Luke Paragon. Not an easy guy to block at 6'4". He can really rise up to the rim and slam it home, but nonetheless, statement block right there.
Liverpool, a bucket could go a long way right here as we go down the home stretch of quarter number 2. Good defense inside, but a better hook shot by Andreo Ash, turning defense on one end of the court to offense on the other way. And Bonin wants 3. Off the back of the rim, no good. Jadir Reese pulls it away. And the Warriors are back within 2. Nick Toscano going at Paragon. Spins around, nearly lost his footing. Great defense, suffocating by the North Stars. And tipped out of bounds by Jadir Reese. Bonin to inbound for CNS. Robbie Seitchen in the ball game now for the North Stars. Conjo still in there. We haven't seen Gerard just yet. Kicked out Wazorek. Deep 2. Fades away. Off the mark. No good. And pulled away by the North Stars. Into Wazorek. Off the feed from Conjo. Yes, sir.
Heads-up play by Reese Conjal, the young junior making a play, stealing the ball on the rebound and kicking it quickly to Wazorek, who answers on the other end.
Doesn't get any better. Jaden Reynolds puts it up. Contact. The bucket almost fell. Nonetheless, Jaden Reynolds will head to the line and shoot 2. Reynolds, just a sophomore on this team, standing at 6'4", and the size on full display for both squads, but Liverpool has some big guys.
Absolutely, a couple of 6'6"ers on that squad. We see Gerard Hills for CNS, 6'6".
First one's good for Jaden Reynolds. Checking back into the game is going to be Kevin Velasco. Conjal takes a seat.
Conjal's been a key player tonight, just always a heads-up guy. Makes smart plays, high IQ guy for only a sophomore. I mean, it's just so impressive the way he plays and totally reflected by his leaders on this team. Such a senior class with Kevin Velasco, Brian Bonin manning it at guard, and now we see the young Robbie Seitchen taking in at point guard as well.
Here's Bonin on the right side. Gives it off Seitchen. Seitchen thought about a 3 with a pump fake. Now it's Bonin right wing again. Back to Seitchen. Paragon. Pass inside. Kick back out to Bonin. Good ball movement by the North Stars. Better defense by Liverpool. Bonin creates his own shot. Wazorek tried to clean it up, and instead, Liverpool will head the other way. A chance to tie with a 2. Tough to the rim here was Reese, and a foul is called. The refs not swallowing their whistles here, and it does seem, Kyle, we're getting a lot of whistles one end, not a lot on the other end. Just interesting to point out.
Yeah, I mean, a guy like Jadir Reese, of course, as I mentioned, you know, a 5'11 guard, that's got to be a part of his game to drive against a taller team and be able to draw those fouls. I mean, it's just so important against a sizable squad and the CNS North Stars to be able to make that happen, because you're not going to get a ton of, you know, open opportunities as a smaller player on the court, but his speed certainly helps out.
Reese missed the second one. We got ourselves a 1-point game. 4:18 left to go. North Stars looking for a response. Bonin top of the key. Warriors in that zone defense. Feed inside Wazorek. Wazorek strong to the tin, and he's swatted down low. Good block by Jacob Wirtz. Pulling up is Reynolds. Reynolds off the backboard. No good. I think it was tipped by Paragon. Bonin running the floor. Bonin coast to coast. Bonin lays it up, and that would have been an acrobatic layup instead. Liverpool the other way.
Absolutely. I mean, you see that in so many players with such a layup package. They're just all well-developed athletes.
Jacob Wirtz pulls up. Bonin with a hand in his face. Doesn't matter.
Man, that's a good job in following that quick first step from Brian Bonin, but that just tells you how good Liverpool is. I mean, they're just knockdown guys from the wing. When they get that mid-range shot, they'll hit it 9 out of 10 times.
Robbie Seichin, feed to Wazorek. Back to Velasco. Velasco cross-court pass Bonin. Bonin quick off the dribble, dumps it off Paragon. Paragon to the tin! Cleaning it off the window. Timeout on the floor.
Paragon doing his work on the inside. 43.26% from the field in this season. Certainly bumping that number up a little bit tonight. He has been really efficient on the inside.
3:13 left to go in half number one. We've been back and forth. Liverpool's had a couple of leads. The North Stars have had a couple of leads. North Stars led by as many as 4, 6 even. And Liverpool has clawed their way back. North Stars up 1. What a half of basketball it's been.
Absolutely. I think it's been back and forth all night. Obviously, we still have 35 minutes to go, but I think Coach Blackwell's done a really good job in making sure his 2-3 zone has been as efficient as possible from that last timeout. You can tell they came onto the court and did their job as good as possible, and so ever since then, I think they've been locked down on the inside because CNS is a team that thrives off of the opportunity to drive to the rim. Of course, we still have plenty of good three-point shooters, but they want to take the high percentage shots, and Liverpool with their 2-3 zone is taking that away from them tonight.
3:13 in half number one. It's been beyond a good one here, and it's bittersweet today. Our final broadcast as well for the CNS boys varsity basketball team, and it's just been a blast throughout the entire year. An emotional, bittersweet end for the seniors and us two seniors in the booth as well. Back to basketball we go. 3:07 left to play. North Stars lead it by 1. Jacob Wirtz kicks back to the top. Soccer back into the game. Inside, Reese got his pocket pick. Pass intercepted. Paragon up the floor. Paragon Euro step, swim move, and he's fouled.
Again, Paragon pushing his cards to the table and forcing his way straight to the rim, but of course can't finish on the other end. Again, a guy who draws so many fouls. And he takes those high percentage shots, and again, we find himself at the charity stripe.
A guy that's going to go play college basketball someday.
Certainly looks like it with his game. So well developed for a junior. And the best part about it is this is the way he's played ever since he was young. You and I have seen his AAU tapes ever since he was a freshman. I mean, this kid just lives, breathes, eats basketball.
Even more remarkable, too, like, it's one thing to get to the free throw line. Like, okay, you're so good at doing that. It's another thing to be 100% from the free throw line and not miss a free throw.
Absolutely.
That's just as efficient as it gets, and you can't ask for a better player than that and a more hardworking player than Luke Paragon. And that goes for pretty much every single guy on the team. Jacob Wirtz going to work. Gives it off. Soccer. 2.5 in the half. North Stars up by 3. Works on Paragon. Euro step. Off the rim. No good. Would have been fancy. Velasco would have blocked. Finally, they get a whistle blown. Velasco caught a lot of ball, and Andreo Ash put it back up one more time to draw the contact.
Wazorek getting some work done on the inside too, but here's the thing, Andreo Ash, so impressive, a 6'6" forward, but he's a freshman. I mean, this kid is, we're talking only 14, 15 years old, playing with the ability of a senior. He's so bodily aware for a 6'6" young guy. I mean, to be that tall at such a young age, he's so athletic.
Missed the first one too strong, rattled off the right side of the rim. Second one, up in the air. Off the back rim, no good. So missing both of them was Andreo Ash. And again, I said, free throws are going to play a factor into a close game like this. North Stars haven't missed one. On the other side, Liverpool's missed a lot. Out to Velasco, dials one up. Yes, sir! Kevin Velasco from downtown on the right wing. North Stars up by 6, their largest lead of the day.
Velasco, 47% from 3 on the season. He'll continue to shoot that shot all night.
Wingate off to Soccer. Soccer back to the top, Jadir Reese. Jacob Wirtz back to Reese. Reese kick out to Soccer. Soccer a drive, pass to the inside. Andreo almost lost it. Suffocating defense by the North Stars, not giving Liverpool an inch. Wingate, a spin move on Wazorek, laid it up, fading away, no good. The putback home, Andreo Ash feasting down low.
I think with Andreo Ash doing his job down low, the rebounding category is going to be extremely important for the North Stars tonight.
Wazorek, baseline drive, kick out, Seichin, corner three, wants it, off the mark, no good. And Andreo Ash pulls it away for Liverpool. Velasco again picks it off in transition, hard to the rim, and he's fouled.
Ever since Soccer's gotten on the court, you can tell the defensive effort by Liverpool has improved a little bit. A guy who's very quick for his size. Of course, only a 5'11" guard, but, I mean, even if you notice it on Seichin's attempt from the wing, Soccer breaking down quickly. I mean, he closed down the young junior in Seichin very quickly, and that's from across court. This kid is very impressive on defense, and he totally fits in this 2-3 zone that Blackwell has created. Perhaps an inspiration for Coach Boeheim's Army.
A little bit.
I don't know anyone else he could get that from.
109 to play. Best analysis in the world to my left, Marshak. Can't believe our senior season's dwindling away. Bonin off the mark, no good. And it goes off the back of the backboard, top of the backboard, out of bounds. So an empty possession for CNS. They've been few and far between today. 33-29 your score. Ryan Blackwell wants to talk things over. And probably a really good timeout right here. You got a minute. You're down 4. You can definitely draw it to within 2 or 1 here. Make it a one-possession game. Just a good timeout to really see how we want to attack the last 1 minute for both the North Stars and Ryan Blackwell's squad, the Liverpool Warriors.
Absolutely. I think Coach Blackwell, obviously, just as experienced, if not more experienced than his counterpart in Coach Cal Martin for the North Stars, a guy who utilizes his timeouts well. Another thing he certainly could have picked up from Coach Boeheim over at Syracuse University. So when you're down 4 points, 61 seconds to go coming into the second half, obviously these next few possessions are going to be statement possessions. How are you going to show CNS that you're going to, keep with them? You and I make this analogy all the time. It's like a long-distance race, and if North Stars are going to make a move ahead, how are you going to stick with them and stay on that back hit? So Blackwell obviously going to make a statement right here. You have to wonder what he's drawing up, but you have to imagine a lot of screens or movements. The Warriors are a very dynamic team, and the defense obviously has to be locked down, and it has been all night.
These two heavyweight fighters going jab for jab throughout the first half. We'll see how the final minute comes to a close. 1 minute on the clock. North Stars up by 4. Liverpool looking for a bucket. Jacob Soccer gives it off. Open corner three for Works. Off the mark. Great rebound for Ash. Going at Wazorek into the tooth of the defense. Buries a bucket. And now it's a 2-point game.
Ash keeps his game so simple. No wonder he's so athletic for a 6'6" guy. He plays the game the right way, getting the rebounds and putting the shots back up.
Tipped away out of bounds. Jacob Works wanted a transition dunk, and instead it will stay here. North Stars 32.4 on the game clock, 24 on the shot clock, separated by 8 seconds. Bonin top of the key. Off to Seichin. Seichin, a spin move, good one. Wazorek in the corner. Now Bonin again, good contact here. Bonin soaked it, still caught the pass. Jadir Reese, the guilty man, just a little bit too much. Again, bodies banging all day. Reese will check out of the game. Coming in his place will be Nick Toscano. And the North Stars to inbound. Off to Wazorek in the corner. Fresh shot clock here. CNS with 17. They can hold for the final shot after the foul. Here's Bonin. Dribbles behind his back. Bonin back to Velasco. Deep three. Off the front of the rim. No good. And a rebound going up the floor. Toscano. Toscano with one. Corner three. Socks at the buzzer. No good. And that will be how the first half comes to a conclusion. North Stars up by 2. 33-31 the score, and it's been a good one, Kai.
Oh, it's been back and forth. I think the North Stars making some statements early. Obviously, Liverpool Warriors, one of the leading teams, second in the SCAC Metro at 9-2. Obviously, looking to get that double digits in the win category. So, obviously, with the crosstown rivalry, I think the North Stars trying to make a huge statement right here, and they certainly have with a 2-point lead coming into that second half. A lot of changes to make for both coaches, though, Gio.
Doesn't get any better than this. The North Stars coming in at third in that Metro Division. Liverpool at second. Liverpool 9-2. The North Stars looking to avenge a very slim 3-point loss from earlier in the year. We got basketball on a Saturday. March Madness, Kyle. It's a beautiful day for it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's really as good as it gets, both with the players. I think Liverpool's a school where talent flocks to them. I mean, you and I know players who, either, went to our schools near us that ended up at Liverpool High School, and why not? I mean, such a storied program with previous state championships. Hard to not like Coach Blackwell, a guy who's so experienced as both a player and a coach. And here we are with so much talent packed onto one court, Gio.
And I think a brand new, exciting program in its infancy is being built right here by the head man, Kyle Martin, as well as Coach Hanks and Coach Bonin along his hip. What a special season it's been so far for the North Stars. And they take Liverpool into the locker room with a 2-point lead, 33-31 your score. We'll take a quick break here on the CNS Athletics North Star Network, and we'll join you with about 2 minutes left to go in the half. Again, thanks so much for being here today. The final game of the season here for the CNS varsity basketball team. It's the North Stars, the Warriors, 33-31 your score after 2 quarters. Once again on the North Star Network, presented by CNS Athletics. Giovanni Heater alongside Kyle Marshak with you, and we have a fantastic basketball game taking place today. The North Stars lead it 33-31 over the Liverpool Warriors after one half of play, Kyle, and both teams on full display.
Absolutely. I think it's been a battle of attrition thus far, and some changes to make for both coaches coming into half. Obviously, Coach Blackwell, a guy with experience at Syracuse, both as a player and as a coach as well, technically, and a guy who really utilizes the ball movement and dynamics of his defense as much as possible. A guy who will have to get his offense, going. Obviously, I think the defense has been fantastic on both ends, and now it's his job to penetrate, move the ball at the top of the key, and get shots off. The right shot selection for his guys will be important, especially with Andreo Ash, a guy who's working on the inside. He needs to be that guy that they feed right now. And, of course, with CNS, they need to avoid that trap in the backcourt with some ball movement, and I think they've done that well thus far.
Winning this game in the final game for these seniors in the first year of head coach Kyle Martin could go a long way for the North Stars. Paragon on the right side. CNS leads it by 2. Wazorek down low. We'll see how the halftime adjustments come into play for both squads. Bonin strong to the tin. Great rebound. Velasco with one hand scooped it up. He's trapped away in the corner, and the Warriors create a turnover. Jacob works to the tin, off the mark. Conjal the rebound. Got the start today, and Reese in the lineup again.
And you hear the folks in the crowd getting excited.
Bonin too short. Wazorek is there as well. Conjal scoops it up. Back to Bonin. Now Paragon. Paragon slicing his way through the defense. Contact drawn. Luke Paragon will head to the line for 2.
I'll mention it over and over again. Paragon, a guy who draws so many fouls, it's a part of his game. But the best part is he has so many other facets to his game as well. A guy who is, obviously knocked down 100% today. Hopefully I don't give him the curse from the charity stripe. A guy who has so many more facets to his game from deep, on the inside, and, of course, he hits the first bucket.
Rattled around a little bit, got me nervous, but the broadcaster's curse can be real sometimes. Paragon, second one up in the air. Yes, sir. Splashing the net. Still perfect. From the line, North Stars lead it by 4. Jacob works, dishes it off. Jake Soccer. Now ball with Toscano. Toscano going at Paragon. Crossover dribble. Paragon poked it away. Wingate pulls up. Elbow jumper off the front of the rim. No good. Paragon in transition. Going at Wingate. Tried to throw it down.
Oh, my
Foul
goodness.
is called. Luke Paragon. Oh, my.
From the rafters, Paragon trying to slam that one home with authority, Gio.
That would have blown the roof off of this barn. I'll tell you that right now.
And a heads-up play in the other end of the court initially, Reese Conjal stepping up on defense. This kid has been fantastic all night, Gio. Reese Conjal, we were just speaking with his father, actually, thanking us for our work in the booth. And, we're just thankful for Conjal's work on the court.
Absolutely. Paragon still perfect from the line. Shout out to Reese's older brother, to Spencer Conjal, our producer here, puts our broadcast together, does a lot of the work behind the scenes, teaching us how to do it as well. Wazorek wanted a clean block, swatted it off the backboard. Can't believe the whistles are blown as the North Stars fans are stunned here. bench is as well. Kyle Martin absolutely elate on the sideline. It looked like a clean block to me, but we will be heading to the line for 2.
Yeah, perhaps we're a little bit biased, but at the end of the day, Liverpool, a team that's also efficient from the free throw line.
Coach Martin with some remarks from the sideline, and ball doesn't lie, Kyle, because the first free throw falls off the rim.
Liverpool not necessarily 100% from the free throw line as CNS is today. Perhaps I'm jinxing them now, but you said it before, ball don't lie. You'll hear a lot of hoopers say that, and we're here for some real basketball, Gio.
Jake Soccer knocks down the second one. Look at the energy from Kyle Martin in the CNS bench right now. Off to Paragon, left wing. Now Bonin, top of the key. Back to Paragon. Pulls the trigger for 3. Off the back of the rim. No good. Rebounded in transition. Jacob works. Foul's called on the floor, and it goes against B. Bonin.
Bonin stepping up on defense. You saw him pressing high in that first possession for the Warriors in this second half. And again, trying to get a stop there, although that foul looked a little more intentional than unintentional. A guy who, ever since stepping in the second game of the season after being out on injury, has certainly been a presence on the court both ways.
Now ball's going to be tossed in. Nick Toscano gets it off. Jacob works. Paragon almost lost his footing. Now works at Velasco. Works the floater, no good. Wazorek pulls down the board, and Velasco up the floor for the North Stars. Kick out. Conjul, baseline drive, Conjul to the tin, and an explosion of Reese Conjul today, getting his first start. A huge bucket there. Ryan Blackwell wants to talk things over, Kyle. What a take by the sophomore.
Conjul, the 6'3 junior, we mentioned it before, a kid who's stepping up tonight in his first start. 47% on the inside. I mean, you can hear the support in the crowd, and numbers like that should certainly help his case, a kid who's so efficient. And no wonder he's getting his first start tonight in the final game of the season for the CNS North Stars, the 2021 season.
6:05 left to go in the third quarter. North Stars lead it 39-32 over Liverpool, and this has been a great game for both squads so far. Tightly contention matchup. These two went to the wire earlier this season. It was a 3-point loss for the North Stars, trying to avenge it here today.
With a 7-point lead, obviously all of the momentum in the North Stars' favor. You have to watch out for what Blackwell has written up, though. A guy who, just as experienced as Coach Martin, certainly gets some plays written up for the Liverpool Warriors to get some momentum in their favor. And especially with only a 7-point lead, the North Stars need to pad that quickly, or else the Warriors are going to be right up on top of them again, especially with guys like Andreo Ash back on the court.
Nick Toscano to inbound. Gets it off to Soccer. 6 minutes to go. Jacob works the pump fake. Kick out Wingate. Wingate slicing his way to the inside. Missed it. Velasco pulls it off the rim, and here comes CNS. Bonin a pump fake. A drive up to the bucket. Off the mark. But we'll stay on this end.
No hesitation all night from Bonin and Paragon. Once they see that lane, they're right there to the rim, and they're either getting the foul or the bucket.
Ryan Bonin to inbound, under 6 to play, quarter 3. Up to Paragon. Paragon crossover dribble on works. Going hard to the rack. Kissing it off the window. Luke Paragon, the junior. Another big bucket for the North Stars. They're up 9.
The 6'4 guard really forces his way to the rim. He plays big.
Jaden Reynolds. Paragon's there. Great cut by Wingate to push one off the window and drive it home.
Wingate, 20 points per game, certainly one of the leaders for the Warriors. Only a freshman on the court, though, Gio. I mean, it's just so impressive with the game he plays. This really tells you how much talent wants to flock here to Liverpool, New York.
Paragon hard to the defense, and he's fouled. Andreo Ash, the guilty man, and actually instead no foul is called. They'll say a jump ball.
And you still hear the fans chirping, the coaches pleading their case. Coach Kyle Martin, very animated on the sidelines, but you can expect that from a guy like him. As I mentioned, 83 and 53 at SUNY Purchase, a guy who certainly has winning mentality in his genes.
Here's Jadir Reese. Reese, Bonin up to play him. Andreo Ash going at Wazorek. The double team's there. Back off to Reese. Reese feed to Ash inside. Lost control of it. Off the mark, no good. Jacob works, cleans up the sloppy play, and puts it in. Liverpool back to within 5. North Stars lead at 41-36. Brian Bonin off the screen from Conjul. Back to Velasco. Thought about a three. Coming to the ball is Paragon. Paragon pulls up. Elbow jumper, no. Paragon. Bonin flies in for the rebound. He's fouled.
Heads-up plays all over the court tonight. I mean, Paragon noticing the shot clock is ticking away, forces up a tough shot, and Bonin chasing after the rebound. I mean, both those guys tonight have just been absolutely electric on the court, and Bonin much deserved here at the charity stripe.
Bonin at the line. He'll shoot two. Subtle bend to the knees and knocks it down. I love watching Bonin shoot the free throws. He does that double bounce with the patience.
Hey, whatever works, and it certainly does.
Oh, it does. He's unconscious. There it is, double bounce, third time. Off the rim, no good. That's their first miss of the night, Kyle, and there's the broadcaster jinx.
We had it coming. It had to happen at some point. I think 100% is a ridiculous clip to be at.
Jadir Reese going at Bonin, and we'll get a jump ball called. Bonin got the tie up, and we'll head the other way. North Stars with the possession arrow.
Reese, that 5'11 sophomore, 8 points per game for the Warriors. Certainly a supporting cast member in that starting lineup.
Right side, it's Velasco. Velasco off the screen from Wazorek. Velasco, the floater, off the back of the rim and in.
Velasco keeping the momentum going, a guy who's also high percentage, 41% from the field in the season.
Jaden Reynolds, no. Bonin, yes, for the rebound. Bonin up the floor. Bonin inside to Wazorek. Off the mark, no good. Poke back away, up the floor. Jadir Reese sends it. Left to right on your screen. Andreo Ash comes to the ball. Dumps it back off to Reese. Right side, Jacob Works. That's the guy you want with the ball right now. North Stars wanted an offensive foul, a push off with the offhand. Didn't get it. Toscano dumps it off. Andreo Ash at Wazorek. Spins, fades. Oh! A big bucket there, Liverpool.
That's a crowd silencer right there. Andreo Ash, the 6'6 freshman. So much depth to his game. Turnaround shot, and not an easy one at that.
Paragon pump fake. Hard to the rack. Finger roll, no. Wazorek's there, and he gets rejected. Andreo Ash stares him down. Liverpool up the floor. Toscano wants three. Off the mark. Paragon, the board.
The North Stars got to slow the momentum here, get a big bucket.
Bonin, reverse layup off the rim. And instead, it's Toscano up towards midcourt. Kick out Works. Jacob Works, crossover dribble, past Paragon. Wazorek the defense, and now Paragon up the right side. Paragon Euro step. Paragon off the window and in. Kevin Velasco flexes his muscles. The whole team surrounding Luke on the sideline. Ryan Blackwell wants a timeout. And the North Stars continue to lay it on the Warriors.
A huge momentum swinger right there. Paragon, left-hand finish. He's been electric all night. And certainly that breakout player that we were expecting. You and I spoke with Coach Kyle Martin early on in the season, a kid that you need to watch out for. And here he is. I mean, we're talking 15 points per game. This kid is so athletic as a junior. I wish we were here for that senior season next year. But nonetheless, Velasco, Bonin, Paragon, the story tonight for the North Stars.
2:30 left to go in the third quarter. 46-38 is the lead for CNS, and it has been nothing short of a good one here in the CNS gym.
I mean, it's just as good as it gets. Crosstown rivalry, and it's not like it was last year where CNS was a little bit more of a struggling program. Coach Kyle Martin came in, turned it around, and all of a sudden the Warriors with a lot of sweat dripping off of them. You can feel the stress.
Yeah, North Stars have extended this lead, largest of the day, all the way up to 8. Liverpool in much need of a bucket here. Good thing Ryan Blackwell, one of the best at drawing up the response to do so.
Absolutely. Look for a high percentage shot right here. I can't imagine they're going to try and penetrate the ball too much unless they get it to Andreo Ash.
Well, or Velasco will do what he's done all day and take it away in transition. Up to the rim. No good. Bonin picks up the miss. Contact drawn. Dropped the bucket. Kyle, what a play.
Listen to the energy off the bench. The North Stars getting hyped, and man, I want to hop on the court right now. Bonin doing his job on the inside.
It feels like something special is brewing here today in the CNS gym.
Ever since Coach Kyle Martin stepped in, he's written quite the script, and man, are these actors doing their roles.
And he knocks down the three-point play as Bonin hypes up the crowd. He's a hooper, Kyle. There's no doubt about it.
Lockdown, too.
Jacob Works can't hit. Paragon the rebound. Paragon coast to coast. Paragon off the rim. Bonin flies in for the rebound. Creates separation off to Velasco. And Brian will draw things out to slow it down a little bit. Fresh 30 on the shot clock. Bonin calls the play. Off the screen. Brian. Conjul. Top of the key three. Oh my! Reese Conjul, the sophomore again.
I didn't bring my jacket with me, but it would be off right now. Things are heating up here at CNS High School. Reese Conjul with the dagger.
Jaden Reynolds going at Paragon. Poked away. Reynolds to the tin. Off the mark. Offensive board again. Reynolds a third time. No good. Bonin pulls it away. And
Third
the crowd,
straight stop for the North Stars right there.
crowd alive again. Wazorek inside. He got hit. It didn't matter. Timeout on the floor. Brian Bonin hyping up the crowd. There's nothing like high school sports in this atmosphere.
I feel the fabric of space-time being torn apart right now. The North Stars starting to run away with it, Gio.
Unbelievable. And it'll be a full minute timeout as well. 54-38. What a run for the North Stars, keeping Liverpool scoreless.
You have to imagine that was almost a 10-0 run right there. The North Stars with 3 straight stops and 3 straight buckets. All of them on the inside, too, which tells you that the 2-3 zone is working to no effect. Coach Ryan Blackwell, perhaps time to get to that high press or that man defense because, you know, obviously the penetration is all there for the North Stars, a team that totally thrives off of finding their way to the rim for those high percentage shots, and here they are playing the smartest basketball we've seen all season. I've only seen maybe a couple low percentage unneeded shots tonight. Bonin, a guy who forces up the ball too much, but man, has he been efficient tonight. Obviously a high percentage guy in the field, and he's found his way to the rim so much tonight. Not to mention Velasco, an underrated player, obviously, you know, a guy who scores well on offense, but his defensive ability has just been on display tonight, Gio, at the top of the key. I've seen at least 5 steals where he walked away with the bucket on the other end as well.
Velasco's been fantastic. Bonin has just impressed me with his leadership. He's hyping up the crowd. Just to have fans back in the stands, Kyle, this is just something special. Soak it in, my friend. Soak it in. You never know when it can be taken away. This last year proved that to us, but it's coming back.
Absolutely. 9 minutes and 6 seconds to go in this game, and you and I have soaked all of it up.
Here's Jacob Works. Liverpool in much need of a bucket as the North Stars bench comes alive with the energy. Inside, Andreo Ash, kicked out to Scano. Bonin was there to poke it away. Good defense, not giving an inch.
Only about 50 people allowed in this gym, and you and I can't quite hear ourselves. We're lucky we have these headsets in our ears.
Nearly stepping across the line was Bruce Wingate. He's got 50 seconds, 18 on the shot clock. Good defense down low. Able to pick up his miss. Gives it off to Jacob Works. And they have 10 on the shot clock. Works with 7. Works with 8. A jump ball called. How many times has Brian Bonin done that tonight?
I've lost track. I mean, him and Velasco, their defensive ability has just been on display tonight. Hands everywhere. They fit in this man defense that Coach Kyle Martin has built so well for the North Stars.
Jacob Works, 4 seconds. Ash has to shoot a jumper, not his forte. And Paragon's there to pick up the miss. And the North Stars can, likely will, hold for the final shot. 20 seconds, shot clock is dead. Off to Bonin, now Paragon.
Electing to slow things down right here. I think now is the time for them to kill the momentum of the Warriors and really hit the dagger before going into this final quarter.
Paragon, kick out Bonin. He'll drive, floater, oh, count it! Brian Bonin, and that will conclude 3 quarters of play. The North Stars up 56-38, 18-point advantage. What a swing. The North Stars are playing their best basketball of the year.
And Bonin slamming that ball down on the baseline, ready to defend right after. That makes a statement right there. Bonin isn't just an offensive player, a guy who obviously initially a guy who hits big shots. But at the end of the day, he's there on defense. Him and Velasco at the top of the key has just been freaking deadly for the North Stars.
You think losing at the buzzer to FM the other day fueled Brian Bonin's fire? Because I had him here to call the JV game, and the way he talked about that, I mean, it was just, I felt inspired. The way it's been eating at him the last 24, 48 hours, missing that game-winning shot. he's coming out and just playing his best basketball. And he's played fantastic all year, but he is really on another level tonight.
Absolutely, Gio. I mean, you and I have spoken to many high-level athletes in the area. I'm good friends with a friend of mine who used to go to Liverpool High School in Bryce Mills, a fighter now, and he told me that his first loss as a kid to, a fighter in his young career, that was the best thing that ever happened to him, a loss. And here we are, only a few days after a buzzer-beating loss. You have to wonder what's going through the minds of these young players. Brian Bonin, a leader on this team. What else do you expect, Gio? What else do you expect other than a performance from Brian Bonin, a man possessed right now? If I said hi to him, I'd imagine he doesn't say hi back. This kid is locked in right now. Kobe mentality.
Laser focus, Mamba mentality is the best way to put it. I love it. Bonin top of the key. Off to Paragon. Thought about a three. It's Bonin again. No look pass to Paragon. No look pass to Wazorek. Corner triple. Off the mark. No good. Offensive board. Bonin's got it. Less than 8 minutes to go. North Stars up 18. Paragon to extend it, and he does. Luke Paragon laying it on the Warriors.
21-point lead. Paragon with a statement bucket. The momentum continues to go in the favor of the North Stars. The Warriors in need for a huge bucket right here.
Nick Toscano can't give it to him. Bonin pulls it away. North Stars in transition. Bonin hard to the rim, and he's fouled. No foul called, rather. It will be out of bounds. We'll stay here. Looked like a foul. Heard a whistle. Assumed it was a foul. Not the case.
I'd say Bonin really got mauled on the inside right there. Obviously a guy who goes quickly to the rim, and fortunately enough, CNS possession right here.
Paragon to inbound. Waving Bonin off. Gives it to him. And that's just great communication by the North Stars. Bonin right wing. Spin move. Going at Braden McLean. Dumps it off inside. Reese Condrel lost the handle. Paragon's got it. Kick out Bonin. Bonin to Velasco. Pump fake. Floater. Left it short. And up the floor come the Warriors. Jacob Works. Euro step to the rim and count it.
Works going to work right there. One of the leading rebounders for the Warriors, but nonetheless getting a big bucket right there. A momentum killer, if you say.
Wazorek baseline drive. Great ball movement. Bonin wants three with a hand in his face. No good. Flying in is Paragon. And up the floor goes Liverpool.
This is the hardest the North Stars have played all season, Gio. You and I have been there for every game, and man, are they working tonight.
Jacob Works. Can't get it to fall. Paragon right to left on your screen. Paragon to the 10. He's fouled. Finally some whistles. And Luke will head to the charity stripe for another deuce.
Man, does Paragon fly to the rim. Our cameraman and Jacob Lax having to get out of the way right there. I would be scared if I were him.
He's
right in the middle of the action.
I don't know who's got a better seat in the house, us or him. We're courtside. He's right under the basket.
Well, his photos certainly make it look like he does.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Best photographer in the world, in my opinion.
Wow. Bold claim, but I can't help but agree.
Paragon, second one, good. The lead is 20, Kyle, and I don't think we expected this coming into today. What a run it's been for the North Stars. Andreo Ash caught in a trap, gets it off Wingate. Toscano, feed back to Ash. Wingate again. Coming to the ball, McLean. McLean swing to the inside, Wingate rattles it off the rim and home.
The Warriors looking a little bit sharper here after that timeout for Coach Ryan Blackwell, obviously drawing up a little bit more ball movement. I think that's the only way to defeat this man defense of the CNS North Stars. They play so tight from half court, they're right on top of you.
Here's Paragon at the top. Bonin for three, off the rim, too strong. And Jacob Works is there. Jacob Works, 5.5 to play. Desperation time of your Liverpool. Velasco poked it off again. And Wingate is there.
Almost that sixth steal of the night for Velasco. Hard to keep track at this point.
Toscano to Ash. Ash going at the chest of Wazorek. Foul on the floor. Wazorek can't believe it.
Bonin calling for a travel, and so are some of the fans in the crowd, of course, in the favor of the CNS North Stars at CNS High School.
5:08 on the clock. North Stars up 18 points. Toscano halted by Velasco in his tracks. Gives it off to Works. Works going at Velasco. Velasco a block. He hits the deck and will get a foul once again.
The Warriors doing a better job of getting those high percentage opportunities, a team that obviously wants to take that smartest shot for them. And that's how their defensive minds are geared too, forcing the hardest shot up in that three-point shot, but man, have the North Stars been deep
Ball's
and
thrown
efficient from the three-point line.
off the bottom. Noah Wazorek, the elevation, slams it down with one hand.
With authority.
Andreo Ash, no good. Conjure the board. And Brian Bonin has it. CNS up 20. Velasco to Bonin. Paragon thought about the three. Bonin the pump fake at McLean. Andreo Ash tipped it away. McLean coast to coast. And the rejection down low, Velasco. Too much height, too much size. Wasn't going to happen. Conjure, corner three. Too short. And Jacob Works will send it up the floor, McLean. McLean kicked out. Toscano wants a triple. Off the rim, no good. Scooping it up is Paragon. And a timeout on the floor. Kyle Martin wants to talk things over. You hear people yelling, take the air out of the ball. Slow things down, bleed out some of this. 4:01 left. That's probably why the timeout is called here by Coach Martin.
It's beginning to look like a crime scene if the North Stars just don't take their feet off the gas right now. Still maintaining that 20-point lead, although the Warriors have made some statement buckets. I think Zork has looked really sharp ever since that dunk. You can tell that was the play that got him invested in this game, although he's been here all night. The defense has looked fantastic. You noticed him closing down on that three-point shot earlier, and he's just one of the many guys in the court tonight that their game has just been as well-rounded as possible.
Well, you say it's beginning to look like a crime scene. I say it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas morning, the way the North Stars are playing right now. Doesn't get any better.
Hey, I mean, you never know, obviously, with Coach Blackwell. He can turn around teams and games very quickly. A guy who, obviously, a genius defensively. The 2-3 zone is not an easy thing to run, but I think of all the teams in Section 3, the Warriors do it best.
Well, the North Stars are doing the right thing. They're getting the ball into that middle of the zone. You saw Virginia do it against Syracuse earlier this year when they played at John Paul Jones Arena. Get it to the middle, then kick it out. North Stars are finding the open threes. The biggest thing, though, has been CNS scoring transition points. I'd love to look at the stat card and see what transition points look like. I bet the North Stars have more than 20, and they're winning by more than 20.
Absolutely. Those have been the, obviously momentum points, the points that keep them in the lead and have given them the 20-point lead they're in right now. And you need a guy who's able to drive in that 2-3 zone, and tonight that's definitely been Bonin and Paragon for the North Stars.
This has been CNS's best defensive performance of the year. Just swarming in on balls, blocking shots. And this is a very good Liverpool squad. They sit at 9-2. This is incredibly impressive. Bonin tightly guarded by Bruce Wingate. Bonin gives it off Paragon. Paragon fouled with 11 on the shot clock. The guilty man is Jacob Works. Liverpool running out of time here, Kyle.
3:40 to go. Blackwell certainly has to draw up some plays in order for the Liverpool Warriors to get some huge momentum stops and buckets right here. They need to make a statement with only 3:40 to go.
Paragon into Velasco. Velasco to Bonin. Bonin with Wingate all over him. Now Velasco again, and the North Stars clearly slowing down the game. Off to Conjure. Conjure to the tin. Tried to rise, and the miss.
Nonetheless, Conjure playing with the big dogs tonight. He's done a good job.
Tough to the rim. Jacob Works gets a much-needed bucket for Liverpool.
Jacob Works, the 6'3 junior, doing his job right there.
Conjure the screen for Bonin. Bonin got hit. Will stay here. Bonin can't believe it.
Bonin's mask flew off as well, a guy who has all the evidence to plead his case, but nonetheless, simply out of bounds. CNS ball.
Under 3 minutes to go here. North Stars lead it by 18, 62-44. And it looks like we get a foul against Bruce Wingate. The bench erupts for CNS. Again, just trying to collect what is going on here. Unfortunately, we don't have a production truck telling us the exact details, you know.
It's tough to tell. I mean, you and I right here for the game, and we still can't tell what's going on. That's all part of the confusion of, you know, crosstown rivalries. It's just all part of the competitiveness. It's tough to tell exactly what's going on with all the jabbing back and forth.
North Star, yeah, that I thought could have been a technical. Clearly it's not. Brian knocks down the front end of the 1-and-1. So just an off-the-ball foul. I was worried to see if it was a technical. That was the concern.
Absolutely. I mean, you wouldn't be surprised to see it here. Warriors, North Stars matchup.
Bonin the triple bounce on the knees, knocks down 2. 44 works. Feed to the middle. Deflected away, will stay here.
And that's, again, Velasco's job in that defense, a guy who sticks with that main man at the top of the key, Wingate, usually that guy driving, and Velasco right there to tip that ball away on the moving guy in that rotation baseline.
Jaden Reynolds back into the game for Liverpool. He's a spark. And a foul against Noah Wazorek. Again, he can't believe it. Jacob Works will shoot 2.
Tough to tell from this angle. Certainly looked like all ball. Wazorek pleading his case, but nonetheless another foul in the favor of the Warriors.
Knocking down the first is Jacob Works. Makes it a 19-point game. One more would bring it to 18. And Works does so.
Small points, but a statement right there. The Warriors finally getting some back on the board.
Liverpool in a full court press. No problem for CNS to handle. Paragon gets his pocket picked. Jadir Reese to the rim. Off the mark, no good. They needed that. Paragon with numbers. Wazorek cleans it up and stuffs it off the window.
Wazorek usually a defensive specialist, but man, has he been loud on the offensive side of the court, cleaning the glass.
Andreo Ash connects with the net. 18-point game. Conjal down low. The reverse layup, stamping the envelope.
The ball movement has been as good as it gets here at Section 3 basketball. The North Stars doing their job, getting the ball way up the floor with pace.
Conjal up the floor. Foul is called, travel rather. They call him for one too many steps.
Conjal, usually a guy who's very fundamental, a 6'4" guard, and as we mentioned, a sophomore. Looked like a jump stop right there, gathering his steps before getting the shot up, but nonetheless, they're going to call a travel.
And the North Stars appear to be sending in some reserves. Again, this is secondary senior night. We had senior night earlier in the year, but this is the last game. Hard to the rim with the contact in the bucket. Jacob Works. Liverpool won't go away quietly, Marshak.
Absolutely Works. Of course, as I mentioned, not one of the leading scorers, or excuse me, one of the leading scorers at 20 points per game. You know, a guy who's really doing his work tonight, but he's at a much higher clip, not just 20 points. This dude has really been getting all the buckets for the Warriors, and that's the problem, really. They're leaning a little bit too much on Jacob Works. They need to have that supporting role. Andreo Ash has been a little bit quiet tonight at 6'6". It's hard not to think he would be one of the leading roles tonight, but of course, only cleaning the glass so much, especially against guys in Noah Wazorek.
Here's Bonin with it. North Stars with just over a minute and a half to play in a blowout victory. 68-51 your score. Bonin off to Paragon. Bonin a drive to the inside, kicks it off to Wazorek, and a foul is called, a reach against the Warriors. Now that means that it will be foul out. And here come the reserves. Joey Penazzato checks into the game for the North Stars. Junior Darko into the game. Nick DeViro in the game. Paragon checks out. Velasco checks out. Special moment here for the North Stars.
And just goosebumps, Gio. Not a guy who gets emotional too often for basketball, but it's just beautiful to see all the work coming into play right here.
You gonna cry, buddy?
I'll try not to, but you know, to know these guys, you know, I'm very close with Junior especially, but all of these seniors. I mean, you and I have grown up with these guys, and here they are in their final basketball game here at CNS High School.
Incredible, and our last basketball call as well.
Absolutely, it's been a great career with you, Gio, but many more games to call.
We got football next week, buddy. Bonin knocks down both. Not yet. That will
Not
be a
quite
day.
yet.
I'll cry that day. Toscano wants 3, way off the mark. Penizzato the rebound. Minute to go. Joey P, Euro step, the reverse, no good. And rebound pulled down by Liam McIntosh.
And Penizzato with the chippiness trying to get that steal on the other end.
Jaden Reynolds, triple, and it hits. Too little, too late, though, if you're Liverpool.
Crowd silencer right there. But nonetheless, the North Stars with a plentiful lead, and here to get some work for these seniors stepping on the court tonight. They've worked their butts off all season, and here we see Nick DeViro, another kid who has worked for his minutes.
Here's Penizzato in the corner, 40 seconds to go. Joey to the tin, and he missed it just short. McIntosh up the floor, gives it off Reynolds. 30 seconds left. Reynolds feed to the inside. Too much for McIntosh to handle, and the North Stars with a dead shot clock with 26.2 can close it out. And we'll get some reserves in once again. Bonin will check out of the game. Jason Haas will check in. Deuce will check into the game.
And I would still be intimidated if I were the Warriors. These kids got skill. Deuce, a guy who can certainly do his job boxing out.
Hit a triple in just a couple of games ago.
So did Junior as well.
Yep.
The senior stepping in a few games ago as well. And all these kids are athletes.
And the North Stars with 13, Junior.
Oh.
A pump fake. Down to 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
They're
2,
calling for a
and
shot.
1.
Oh!
Joey
To end it!
Penizzato!
To end it!
Consider the pool drained as the North Stars take down Liverpool in the final game of the year, 73-54, your final score. It's been one heck of a season, Kyle.
Hey, I mentioned it before. Coach Kyle Martin stepping in as the new director of this program, and man, has his cast fulfilled their roles. I mean, he's written quite the script, and these guys have been there all season long. A beautiful way to see Joey Penizzato cap off his career as a CNS North Star. Still some football for him to play and a lot of these other athletes, other sports to do, but all smiles here at CNS High School.
All smiles. It doesn't get any better. Joey comes to give some high fives. What a special year it's been right here. CNS with some absolute battles on the floor. The parents get to be here. Absolutely fantastic.
Good work,
We
boys.
address the team. Absolutely.
A beautiful way to cap off the season.
Doesn't get any better. Well, Kyle, can't believe it's our last one. I think the fans deserve a final farewell after we're done giving the high fives. These guys played their hearts out.
Absolutely. I mean,
doesn't
from
get any
sophomore to senior, these kids have worked. Paragon, all smiles. Bonin, still straight face. That kid's a killer.
Absolutely. We're going to grab a quick interview with Coach Martin before we wrap things up, Kyle. But it doesn't get any better than this. A big win for CNS. They win 73-54 by 19 points against arch rivals. Just what a way to cap it off.
I mean, it really just doesn't get any better than this. I mean, a bittersweet ending for the Warriors, a team who came in with all the confidence. They'll fall at 9-3 at the end of the season. The North Stars 9-4. Both these teams have worked their butts off. A long COVID-shortened season. And here they are at the end of it all. The North Stars really flipped the script from last year. Again,
we're going to try and steal Coach Kyle Martin for the final game for a quick post-game interview if it's possible. You see Coach Hanks munching on a donut. Doesn't get any better. Post-game celebration donut. Parents are here. This is just absolutely fantastic. We'll take a very quick break here on the North Star Network. We're going to try and grab Coach Martin. We'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back here once again on the North Star Network, presented by CNS Athletics. Giovanni Heater alongside Kyle Marshak with you, joined by CNS varsity basketball head coach Kyle Martin. Coach, I know you're losing your voice here, but what a way to cap off the season.
Yeah, so proud of our guys. We lost twice this week, and to bounce back and have that much energy and execute that well. Everything we've been preaching all year, they put together today, and it was a special day for our seniors.
Absolutely, and quite the performance you had these guys bring to the court tonight. How much do you think coming off of that FM buzzer beater fueled these guys? I mean, Bonin was just a man possessed tonight. Penizzato hitting that shot at the end. What do you think that did for these young players?
That wasn't our team the other night. We kind of pouted after the West Jenny game, and it wasn't our team. We had an awful practice, and yesterday in practice we were awesome. The guys were inspired. They had energy, and it rolled over to today. So I anticipated we'd have a great effort, and it started in practice yesterday, and the guys just saying enough is enough. Let's finish this thing strong.
Now, Coach, this is the final game for some of the seniors that really led the way. You got Bonin, you got Velasco, you got Joey, William Darko. The list goes on and on. Nick DeViro.
Noah.
These guys, Noah, I mean, they just gave their hearts to your program, and you're number one as the head coach. How have these guys laid the foundation, and how will these be missed?
They're beaten up for a whole offseason about how bad they were and how much they stunk and their bad attitudes and all these different things. I heard all this crap, and they proved everyone wrong. 8-4 is pretty special after what they went through last year with a new coach, a new system, not a lot of time to get the system in. They fought, they scrapped all the way to the very end. So, they left a pretty good legacy in the COVID year of being a winning team that is it kind of turned the page on this thing. So I'm really, really proud of those guys. And especially, special for Noah Wazirek, who came back, and his commitment to our team kind of trickled down through everybody. So love that kid.
Absolutely. I mean, we're here in year one of your career at CNS High School, and we're already talking about legacy. How much does it mean for you to get up on this step, and what does it mean to you personally and emotionally to see these seniors lay the foundation like that?
They're good kids, like I said, and they were beaten up. So you don't. I have personal relationships with all of them. I love all of them, and I wanted them to do it so they could leave here with their heads up high. But yeah, I don't know. It's the first season, but only game 12, and I don't have a voice, so I got to do better next year with this stuff.
Coach, we can't thank you enough. You've been incredibly supportive to us. It's just been one fantastic year. A year we'll never forget. Thanks for letting us be a part of it and including us along the way. It was special.
Kyle and Gio, we appreciate everything you guys did for us. Just promoting our program, letting people know that we're a real basketball program, and even kids in the district, you want to be a part of it, jump on board, and it's a first-class operation here. So you guys are awesome. We appreciate everything you did for us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Again, that's CNS varsity basketball head coach Kyle Martin. Finishes off year one with an 8-4 record in fantastic fashion against the Liverpool Warriors in a blowout victory. Kyle, we'll wrap up our broadcast here. Your final remarks. Just thank you so much, Coach Hanks. That was Coach Manx. That was Coach Hanks saying congratulations to us as well and saying thank you. He's the best. Kyle, it was a great win for the North Stars, but just kind of our final farewell, our last basketball season as North Stars as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been an honor working aside you, a kid who's really brought me into this program, alongside Coach Kyle Martin, who, as you mentioned, has just been so endearing to us, a guy who absolutely adored the idea of us calling these games. It makes it feel that much more professional. And, man, did these kids bring it tonight. Coach Kyle Martin, what a wonder he is. I mean, such a personality, such a leader for these kids, and you mentioned it. Bonin and all those seniors, Velasco, Wyzork, you can't forget it. They really did lay the foundation for a long, storied career ahead for Coach Kyle Martin here at CNS High School, and it's hard not to get emotional about it. We grew up with these kids, and here they are, their final season of basketball, and man, did they work for it.
That's the beauty of sports. Again, thank you so much to everybody all season that's tuned in, everybody that's supported not only the squad but our broadcasting program as well. It's been one very special ride. Every broadcast we've taken with a lot of preparation, hard work, dignity, and it's been so fun. We can't thank you enough for giving us the opportunity to do what we love as we continue to pursue this as a career, Kyle. One last word from you.
They played with a chip on their shoulder. That's all I have to say. They played with a chip on their shoulder, and they came out tonight and performed. And if that isn't a North Star mentality, I don't know what is, Gio. I mean, at the end of the day, the North Stars raised us under a foundation of academic excellence and athletic excellence. And all around the board, everywhere you walk, despite not too many kids in school, with COVID and stuff like that, at the end of the day, Every corner you look around, there's going to be someone with some sort of talent, and they've really fostered it in us here at CNS High School, and here we are, all these kids working their butts off, and the talent was displayed on the court. They worked with a chip on their shoulder, and it was shown here tonight.
Absolutely. So the North Stars conclude the 2021 season, a historic one, with an 8-4 record. Just 12 short games. The North Stars just happy they got to play, and they impressed a lot of people, raised a lot of eyebrows, and turned a lot of heads. The future of the program is certainly in the right hands with head coach Kyle Martin. So for one final time here as a basketball broadcaster on the North Star Network, thanks so much to Katie, our trainer, Tim Bednarski, our athletic director, Joe Howell, our stadium manager, Daryl White, our music coordinator and stadium announcer. It's been a blast. For one last time in a bittersweet way, for Kyle Marshak, I'm Giovanni Heater, and we'll see you next time.